Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Prashanthi ma'am. So in today's session from the 10th biology, we are going to see the reproduction topic. So reproduction is a very big lesson, so we are going to do in a part wise. So today's session, in this session we are going to see the introduction part and also asexual mode of reproduction, right? So reproduction from the beginning, if you see reproduction, okay, reproduction. So from the reproduction, so what is reproduction actually? Producing. So production means producing what they are producing. So parent generation is producing the offsprings, okay, parent generation is producing the offsprings means next generation, next progeny, right? So producing the new organisms through the process reproduction, right? So reproduction is very, very important life process to the continuity of life, right? If there is no reproduction, definitely there is no continuation of particular population. If there is no reproduction, definitely there is no human beings. If there is no reproduction, there is no elephant species. If there is no reproduction, there is no insects, there is no flowers, nothing. So here reproduction plays very, very important role in the continuation of life. For the continuity of life, definitely one life process have to be takes place. That life process is reproduction, right? So here reproduction will takes place in two manners, right? So two manners means one is in the favorable condition, another one is the unfavorable conditions. See, normally in the favorable conditions, now we are talking about the unicellular organisms. See, unicellular organisms means, what are unicellular organisms? The organism which is made up of a single cell, right? So unicellular organisms, unicellular organisms. So unicellular organisms means the organism which is made up of a single cell, okay? So examples, I am writing examples: paramecium, amoeba, okay, verticella, like many, okay, etc. So in this unicellular organisms, the reproduction takes place in two manners based on their conditions, based on their environment, food sources, okay. These conditions will say as a favorable conditions, right? So in the favorable conditions, normally all the organisms will follow favorable conditions. All the organisms will follow asexual mode of reproduction. Asexual reproduction, okay. So what is asexual reproduction? In this session we are going to see. So asexual reproduction, there is no involvement of gametes. Absence of sex cells or gametes, there is no involvement. So asexual reproduction. So in the asexual reproduction, normally one single parent cell is going to divide it into two, right? One single parent cell is going to divide it into two by the process fission, right? Binary fission. So like the same way, here we have one activity. Manaki ikkada oka activity undi, entadi lactobacillus activity. So very simple lactobacillus activity. సో యాక్చువల్గా దీన్ని అయితే డొమెస్టిక్ యాక్టివిటీ అని చెప్పొచ్చు. డొమెస్టిక్ యాక్టివిటీ అంటే ఏంటి? డైలీ వెన్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ దిస్ యాక్టివిటీ ఇన్ అవర్ హోమ్స్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్, రైట్? సో వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ యాక్టివిటీ? సో యాక్టివిటీ 1, that is lactobacillus activity. So activity 1, lactobacillus, growing the lactobacillus. For this activity what we required only two types of milks. One is, so in 1 cup we are taking lukewarm milk, and in 1 cup, so in the cup 1 we are taking the lukewarm milk, in the cup 2 we are taking the cold milk. So in this 2, so we are adding what? So we are adding the 1 spoon of curd. Both we are adding 1 spoon of curd. So after 30 minutes, after 30 to 40 minutes or 1 hour, so we can able to see the curd formation in which cup? So yes, so here in the lukewarm, in the cup 1 lukewarm. Why? Because for the growth of lactobacillus bacteria, it requires the constant temperatures. So that constant temperatures are available in lukewarm milk. That's why we can see curd formation in the cup 1. But in the cold milk, so there is no curd formation. Why? Because there is no sufficient temperatures in the milk. That's why there is no growth of lactobacillus. There is no growth of the lactobacillus takes place in the cup 2. Very simple activity. So in the for the growth of lactobacillus, so 1 cup 1 we are taking lukewarm milk, and in the cup 2 we are taking the cold milk. So 1 spoon of curd we are adding into the both cups, and we are mixing it well. So after we are leaving it for some time. After some time we can able to observe the curd formation in the lukewarm milk, right? So next we are going to the asexual mode of reproduction in the unicellular organisms, right? So in the unicellular organisms, not only unicellular organisms, some multicellular organisms also follows the asexual mode of reproduction. Now what are the asexual mode of reproductions? Everything we are going to see. So watch now. If you want to write, you can write. Yes, I am going to the next topic, asexual mode of reproduction, right? So in the asexual mode of reproduction, mainly we have 5 types of reproduction methods. 5 types. So 5 types. In the 5 types of reproduction, look. So first one, asexual reproduction. So asexual reproduction. In the asexual reproduction, mainly, so first one, what is the first one? Is binary fission, and the second one is budding, right? Next, third is fragmentation, fourth parthenogenesis, regeneration. Okay, regeneration. So what are these 5? We are going to see now one by one. Okay, so binary fission means, so here I am taking the example of paramecium, right? Paramecium, slipper animalcule. Why? Because it is a slipper shape. So what is a slipper shape? So here this paramecium is going to divide it into 2 equal halves. The paramecium, so normally the paramecium contains the cilia structures. Internally it also contains the nucleus structures, food vacuoles, and also contractile vacuoles, cytoplasm. So this paramecium is going to divide it into 2 equal parts, split into 2 equal parts. So 2 equal parts, right? That's why it is binary fission. Bi means 2. The parent organism or the single parent is involving in the binary fission. So one single parent is equally split into 2 organisms, so that 2 daughter cells are going to grow as a new individual cells. So here, that's why this process is known as binary fission. So this binary fission is also takes place in the amoeba, euglena, verticella. So like that, many unicellular organisms maximum follows the binary fission. If one organism is splitting to many daughter cells, so that fission is known as multiple fission. Okay, many means so multiple fission, division of one single parent into many daughter cells. That's why it is known as multiple fission. So that is about the binary fission, very simple. After that, budding. So budding is, we can see in the hydra, sponges. Okay, we can see in the hydra. So how the hydra will be? Hydra will be like this. So here it contains many tentacles. So in the hydra, there is a small external growth grows on the body wall. Okay, so this is the small external growth that we are saying as a bud. Okay, small external growth which is grows on the surface of the body wall. So this is the body wall. So this bird, when it grows for a certain period of time, so certain length, so it is going to detach. It is going to detach means it separates from the parent. It separates from the parent and it grows as an individual organism. Simple. So an external growth forms on the surface of the body wall, and from that it grows for certain growth, certain length, then it detaches. Detaches means separates, and it comes out of the parent. It grows as an individual organism. So this process is known as budding. Okay, so budding means bird formation. Through bird formation, the reproduction is going to takes place. It is going parent or one single parent is going to produce many individual organisms. That's why this process is known as budding. Next, fragmentation. So fragmentation process. In the fragmentation process, for example, take here algae. So this is an algae, Spirogyra structures. Okay, so Spirogyra structures. So from this part, any part of the parent organism, any part of this parent organism is going to be separated. Fragment is nothing but a piece of part. Okay, a piece of part of the parent organism is detaches from the parent and it grows as an individual organism. A piece or a fragment of the body part of the parent organism, it detaches and it grows as an individual organism, and that process is known as fragmentation. Fragmentation means fragments are going to be formed as a new individual organisms. So this process is fragmentation. Thus we can see in the algae. So here fragments we can see in the algae, Spirogyra, even tapeworms. Even tapeworms also performs the same type of reproduction, fragmentation method. Next one is the parthenogenesis. So in the parthenogenesis process is very, very special. Here conversion of sexual mode to asexual mode of reproduction. So sexual mode to asexual mode means, so sexual form of organisms are going to produce asexually. So for example, even nowadays in the markets we are getting the seedless fruits. So how we are getting the seedless fruits? By the process is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis process mainly the unfertilized eggs. So here the unfertilized eggs are going to be converted into new plants or new organisms So this process is known as parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis means it's a mode of conversion of sexual form to asexual forms. Here unfertilized eggs, right? Unfertilized eggs are going to metamorphosized into, yes, into individual organisms. Individual organisms, here they are sterile. They can't able to reproduce. They can't able to produce the progeny. So here parthenogenesis. Even so in animals, if you see, in animals, mules, okay, mules also produced, so they can't able to reproduce. So mules and wasps, even ants, so they can't able to reproduce. These organisms will say as a sterile organism. Sterile organism means the organisms not have the capacity to reproduce. So okay, such type of organisms are parthenogenic organisms. Next one, regeneration. Very, very important, very interesting also. So regeneration means here, regeneration, see, regenerating in the body of one organism, if any part is cut or damaged, if cut or they damaged or they separated, so such type broken, so So if they cut, if they broken, if they damaged, so that particular part is going to be regenerated. So that process is known as regeneration. In the name only it is the regeneration. Again it is producing, okay, again it is producing regeneration, right? So this regeneration, for example, if it is a planarian worms, so if it lost head part, again it can able to regenerate the head part. If it lost tail part, again it can able to reproduce the tail part. So here the lost parts are going to be again produced by the body by the process regeneration. This is all about the asexual mode of reproduction. In the asexual mode of reproduction, we have seen binary fission, budding, fragmentation, parthenogenesis and regeneration. Binary fission in a simple way. So entire topic briefly I am going to say now. Listen carefully. So binary fission, body is going to split into two equal halves. So this process is binary fission. We can see this mode of asexual reproduction in the unicellular organisms like amoeba, paramecium, euglena, verticella, right? And then budding. A small external growth forms on this body surface and it is going to be grow and then detaches from the parent and it grows as an individual organism. Then fragmentation. A fragment or a piece of body from the parent is going to be separated and grows as an individual organism is known as fragmentation. Next one, parthenogenesis. So here unfertilized eggs are going to be converting or metamorphosing or developing into new individual organisms. This process is known as parthenogenesis or parthenocarpy. So we can see this parthenogenesis in plants and animals, right? So in plants, watermelon, grapes, even oranges, we can see the seedless fruits. And then even in the animals like ants, bees, wasps, okay, so the sterile organisms we can able to see that is formed by the unfertilized eggs. Last one is regeneration. So the last part, if it is cut or broken, the part is going to be again produced by the body. So this kind of reproduction is regeneration. So regeneration example, planarians, okay, planarians. So examples are very important. After explaining the definition, you have to draw or write the example. So very important topic, and we can able to expect this as a 4 marks answer. Okay, so take the screenshot. So next we are going to see the vegetative propagation, right? So take the screenshot, all of you.